Well, good morning, Dr. Bruce, and our tip 22. Before I get started today, I wanted to reiterate some stuff. I was looking at my emails this morning, and I was relatively inundated with lots of advertising talking about getting more and more new patients. And I want you to realize this series here is preparing you to receive new patients. Getting new patients is not the goal of a practice, as we've mentioned before. Acquiring new patients is an actual symptom of doing things right in your practice. If a person walks through your door and they're processed correctly, what's going to happen is they're going to stay, they're going to refer their friends and family, and they're going to be happily to pay for their care because they understand what it's all about. So today's topic is what I call the motivating factor. It's the most important part, I think, of anything I can think of in practice. And that is this. When I see a new patient, my first question to them now is, well, good morning, Mrs. Jones. Let me ask you a question. What was it that motivated you to actually pick the phone up yesterday and make a phone call to have this appointment? Now, the reason why I do that is because, it's a given they got some sort of ache or pain. But ache or pain isn't really the issue. In my point of view, over the years, I've discovered that people will take drugs. They'll be happy to take, pain pills, things like this, as long as they work. But what's finally happening is something's not working in their life, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to question status quo. They're going to question what's been going on for them, and they're going to try something new and different. And when I realized that, then it's actually one of the biggest secrets in practice, because when you walk through and realizing what they say is, oh, my back hurts, that's not really their complaint. Their complaint comes down to is what's not working in their life. And so when someone tells me really what's motivating them to come in, I now know the area to focus on. And then we know this, that our job is to restore their life, not get them out of pain. And so when we realize then that pain is causing them to stop doing what they love to do, then when you let them realize this has been a process of doing things that's caused their body to go to degeneration over the periods of time, they're more excited to look at getting it corrected and maintaining it because they don't want to lose their life again. So I will ask people questions regarding their health because I want them to finally bring them down to what's causing the thing. And they'll actually start looking at their health in a different way. I've had people tell me, well, I've got this, what's going on? What's most important to you? They go, well, just get me out of pain, doc. And if I leave it alone, they're there to get out of pain. And as soon as they're out of pain, they're gone. But when you start having a conversation like, that starts asking, so Mrs. Jones, how's your life? How's your life when you're not having any pain? What can you do then that you can't do now? What's it like when it's its worst? What can't you do? What's it taken away from? And they start realizing then that all of a sudden that this pain is actually not really it. And so I'm calling this is the process of enrolling a patient into wanting care. I don't like to sell chiropractic. I don't like to sell plans. I like people to realize they got a challenge, they got a problem, they have a dysfunction in their body, and I want them to want to get it taken care of. I want them to way above and beyond just getting out of temporary pain. I want them to realize that a functional body will be much healthier. So I use the consultation as a time of connection. That's when we start talking and getting them to understand that what their motivating factor is and what their true goals are. And you'll find when you have a conversation, the true goals are not really just to get out of pain. They want to have increased health and vitality. And this is why I'm not all about having a 3-second consultation. Because if you do, the conversation never gets past where the pain is, how long has it been going on, and let's get rid of it. So when they enter your office, when they go to the examination, they're actually in their mind looking for you. They think that you're looking for the pain. And then the next thing's going to happen is you're going to look for how to get rid of the pain. That's why they go through. And that's why so often when you recommend programs from care, they go, let me think about it. Because in their mind, they were told, go to a chiropractor, they'll fix you right up. So as the consultation is a time of connection, this is an opportunity where I can demonstrate that pain is the result of. It's not the problem. My opening statement on my report day is, well, Mrs. Jones, I got some great news for you. The pain you're having, it's not your problem. And that's why you've not been responding to all the other care, because they've been treating the pain, not what's causing the pain. And then, I'll tell them, let me show you what it's all about. Now, the next thing is the examination then is the time when you start building rapport. And in your examination, make sure you don't do things and say, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? How about that? Is this uncomfortable? If you say a lot of those things, you're reinforcing into their mind, you're looking for pain. And so we have a whole different rap, to show you on that, but that's part of our system and it takes a long time, but what you say in the examination is very important. Also, functional testing. EMGs, thermoscans, X-rays, all those different types of things, it's actually gathering data, and it's not, it's showing them then that there's a problem at hand. It's not just you saying, "Oh, I found your problem. I felt it right here. I felt it there." It actually, it's a computerized testing. It shows differentiation, and it shows that actually you're not just guessing with their health. So I always say, without diagnostics, you're just telling them. With diagnostics, it becomes a fact. They'll believe a computer way more than they'll believe you, as I realized over the years. So don't be afraid to use those things. In fact, I would not practice without them. So I always say this, that telling is selling and a showing is knowing. When you can sit there and show people findings that demonstrate the need for care, this idea of thinking about it just goes away. When they say they want to think about it, it's because you've not got them. They went through your consultation examination and your report of findings, and when they say, I got to think about it, because listen, think about this for a second. How many people have come to you and told you everything was wrong with them? They have their case history, everything's checked off. I got this, I got that, I got all these problems. And then later you say, guess what? We can help you. And they go, let me think about it. Totally incongruent response. They should be thrilled that you say you think you can help them. Instead, they're going to think about it only because they didn't buy you. They don't trust you. They're not believing you. You missed them at some level. You forgot to establish rapport. You forgot to understand the motivating factor. You didn't make sense when you were explaining the program to them. Therefore, they didn't get it. If you spent your time trying to teach them about Harvey Lillard, it was the wrong stuff to teach about. That stuff is good later, but more importantly, they're in the office with that, saying, what's in it for me? How can you help me? And they want to be focused on them. They don't want idle conversation. They don't want sidebar conversation. They want you to talk about them, their problem, and they want to know that you're the guy for the job or the gal. So with that, think about your consultation, build rapport. I'll see you on the next slide.